So we're going to be exploring some lead elbow positioning, upper body mechanics, most specifically through the gather right now. So obviously the style of a hitter's gather is going to be ultimately dependent on their body comp as well as how they create natural athleticism. But one thing's for pretty consistent when you see guys hit, control the lead elbow, and two reasons for that control. One, it creates a balanced center position for the hitter to work through, but two, it provides a source of really good rhythm. So if you see a lot of guys that have big leg lifts, one of the things I notice first and foremost is the ability to match tempo with the elbow and the knee. So a lot of times guys will focus a lot on their hands, and sometimes what that does is allow for a lot of hand movement, and the barrel kind of begins to wander a little bit too much. So controlling the lead elbow during your gather is not only going to set you up to consistently be in a position to see the ball with rhythm, it also is going to create a balance and a really stable position to begin the initial phase. So no matter if you have a toe touch, a little bit of a midair gather, a little bit bigger of a gather into a higher leg lift, controlling the lead elbow sets you up to see the ball efficiently. The other thing is from the front angle, all right, and this is a common swing flaw I see with a lot of amateur hitters. A lot of guys, I call it, leave their elbow open. So they'll load their hands to some capacity, but their lead elbow is really disconnected from their almost from their rib cage area, the side of their body. So when they do this, or they push the hands back, all right, it's really, really difficult to delay rotation because my elbow is already in the position I'm in right here. Right? So the goal when we begin to fire is to think about turning the hips into that lead elbow and feeling that thumb, we call pronate, so this move right here. So pronate or drop the thumb underneath as our hips open, and that starts to build tension through our hips through that lead arm. So you'll see the lead arm kind of lengthen out a little bit as a byproduct of that tension, and then the body turns and we release through the ball. Now why is that important, okay? So if my lead elbow is up like this and I try and turn and try and keep my thumb underneath, it's really hard for me to create direction, call that north-south, this way, all right? I'm already into an east-west pattern across my body. So if I can get my elbow during my gather down into the center of my body, number one, look at the plane of my shoulders. You're gonna see a slight, kind of a slight angle forward here, all right, number one. But number two, my elbow and knee, everything's working forward, centered, and against my back leg. All right, so from this position now, when I can turn and work to the height of the baseball. All right, not to mention, as I begin to turn, I can keep my elbow towards the pitcher for a long period of time, thus creating more adjustability when I deliver my barrel. So ultimately, the barrel is going to follow what my lead arm does. So if my elbow's up, I'm already into a position where my barrel's compromised, and again, I'm in a position of early rotation, which is not something we want to be in.